Get ready to go on a danger-filled space adventure as Deep Space D-6 tasks one player to try and navigate your crew through the various hazards and dangers space presents. While it was briefly available on Kickstarter recently, you may be able to find this game for around $25. Alternatively, you can craft your own print-and-play version through Board Game Geek. In the box, players will find 4 ship boards, 6 custom dice, 1 threat die, 2 tokens, a threat deck, and a rulebook. Each of the boards present a different ship model that players can pilot, in many ways presenting 4 difficulty levels. The ships have neat designs and have a blueprint vibe to them, although it isn't always clear what all of the crew actions do, even with the clarifications provided on the back of each. The custom dice look and feel great, each with their own color and symbol that makes them rather clear. The threat die and tokens, on the other hand, is nothing special, but does the job well. The threat deck cards are presented in a bare-bones format that, while functional, look bland and uninviting. The rulebook is rather poorly worded, with confusing statements making it hard to clarify some of the details without needing to rush to Board Game Geek for help. The box has a fun design, presenting the game as an adventure novel, and while there is no insert per se, everything fits very snugly. Players win in Deep Space D6 if they can make it through the entire threat deck and defeat the final boss while keeping their ship intact. At the start of each turn, players get to roll their dice once. If any of the dice reveal an alert symbol, they are placed at the top of the shipboard. If this results in all of the threat squares being filled, a new threat is revealed and added to the field. There are 2 different types of threats that player can encounter. External threats are foreign ships, meteors, and other enemies attacking, and requires that you deal them enough damage to discard them. And internal threats provide passive effects that make it harder for players to succeed in their actions, requiring that you commit certain crew members to discard them. After any threat dice are assigned, players may then use their remaining crew dice to complete different actions. Each ship allows for the crew members to do different things, but each of the symbols are generally associated with specific aspects of surviving. The green scientists help to repair shields or defend, orange mechanics restore the hull, purple doctors heal crew members and remove threat, red tacticians attack external threats, and blue commanders help to alter the crew to get actions that the player needs. Additionally, there is a variant in which players can voluntarily sacrifice unused crew members to the infirmary in order to change the die face of another unused die to the face of your choice. After all actions have been completed, a new threat is revealed and added to the staging area. Then, the threat die is rolled. Depending on what number is revealed, one or more of the threats may activate, damaging the shields, hull, or crew members. Lastly, all dice that aren't in the infirmary or threat areas are collected to be rolled again for the next turn. This continues until the threat deck is empty, at which point the boss, I'm not even trying to pronounce that, is summoned, a massive 6-card ship. If players can survive it and successfully defeat it, they win. A game will likely last 20 to 30 minutes, depending on if you need to check the rules for clarifications. Deep Space D6 is a game that embodies the video game FTL and your fantasies of Star Trek space battles into a light and fun gaming experience. The different ships provide a lot of variety from game to game, and it's not uncommon to lose, meaning you'll have a reason to come back to it multiple times. This is a storytelling game at its core, allowing you to experience a unique adventure each time you pull it out. The unfortunate fact of the matter, though, is that the gameplay isn't anything terribly strategic. Much like many other solo games, the difficulty comes from rolling poorly and being forced to deal with it. During my time with the game, there have been many turns where I've simply had nothing to do, whether it be because none of my dice allow me to do anything useful, or, surprisingly, that I'm doing too well. The mid-game is a prime time for you to defeat each threat as it comes out, leaving you sitting around for a few turns waiting for the threats to escalate again before the game becomes interesting. There are also some dice faces that are just more useful than others. If you have a handle on your shields for most of the game, the mechanics, depending on the ship, can be nearly useless. This, coupled with the fact that you get no rerolls, helps to perpetuate this feeling of being at the fate of the dice. Lastly, there are a huge amount of rules in this game that just aren't clear. Having to interrupt the flow of a solo game by shifting through the rules, then not being able to find something and having to look it up online is just frustrating, and it doesn't make me want to come back to this game. At the end of the day, Deep Space D6 caters to a very specific type of player. Those that are looking to tell a tale, regardless of the fact that little strategy can be found here. As for the pricing, while the game is cheap and has some solid replayability, the poor presentation of the cards and rulebook hold it back from being great. If you're looking for a narratively driven solo time waster, this is certainly one of the best of its kind, an impressive offering. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw here. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and be sure to check us out on Facebook and GamesOnTape.com.